There are so many use cases for presentations, and yet I couldn't find one useful AI tool that was able to, from one prompt, create a high quality presentation or slide deck with AI. That is until now. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Manus AI to create presentations and slide decks. At the end of the video, I'll even show you how you could then turn your presentation into a full-blown landing page. All we're going to do is go to Manus. This is what your dashboard will look like. Here is example number 1. All I said was create a slide deck for me, 10 practical ways to learn AI. It wasn't even grammatically correct. Here are the results. I've created your slide deck on 10 practical ways to learn AI. Each slide features a consistent blue and purple scheme. It probably chose the purple scheme because AI, a lot of it's like neon green or purple. And so let's see what it looks like. Not only does it look great, but the words are spelled correctly. And when you actually hover over some of the icons, they are interactive. There's one little mistake here, but this is pretty cool. And the actual information that it put on each slide is really good as well. If I wanted to change the colors, the images, the font, if I wanted to include my business information on there, I could. But I didn't want to push it too much for the first example. I wanted you to see what the output would be like with a literal, simple sentence. Here, I could actually share. I have the option for only me or making the link public. I could also copy the link and share it with friends, with clients, with whoever. And not only do you have the ability to share your presentation or your slide deck, you actually have the ability to download it. You can click download, PowerPoint, PDF, save to Google Drive, or convert to Google Slides. Here, you could click full screen or preview. This is what full screen looks like. This is what preview looks like. And as I click, I'm able to go to the next slide. For example, number 2, I took it to the next level. I said, create slides for this. And then what I did was I pasted some content. This content came from a very lengthy, almost 2-hour live video where I shared 21 ways to use ChatGPT as a second brain. The reason why I used such a long live is because I wanted to see if it could literally understand the context of what I was sharing. The transcript is very long. It's over an hour. Were the first few slides going to be good and then it trail off? Or was it going to contextually understand what to put into each slide? The other reason why I chose this is because it's singular 21 tips. I wanted to see if Manus would keep the name of the tips aligned with the video, if it would actually organize the context correctly. I also gave it an additional instruction in the beginning saying use the following color scheme: white, black, royal blue. I'll help you create slides with a specified color scheme. Let me first check the content you've provided and then create a presentation based on it. Gave me 11 slides. As you can see, they look really good. The color scheme looks good. And what's interesting is that it even added additional context. So for example, it added a slide of why prompting skills matter, which I probably should have said in the beginning of that video. It did keep the titles correct within the 21 techniques of prompting that was shared in the video. And then it even gave me example prompts. There's even some creative elements like the blind spot finder, and then it has this. It chose to have singular slides for some of the techniques, and then it kind of partitioned more advanced techniques on slides where it had multiple boxes like this. And it even added on the final slide, it says creating your own AI technique. Spot the pattern, force iteration, break AI's defaults, and use constraints. The real insight comes from iteration. So the fact that it not only organized the content that I gave it, but it actually added to it and made it better is pretty phenomenal. I showed this to one of my clients and they asked me if they knew how to convert it into PowerPoint better. And the reason why they were asking is because when they would download it into PowerPoint, it would completely change the presentation. So it would look wobbly and all of the elements would be everywhere. That's happening for you, or whenever you come upon a stumbling block, so to speak, with AI, you just want to be honest and almost present the problem that you have. I downloaded it into a PowerPoint, but it looks crazy and that's a lot of work. Can you design it so that when it converts to a PowerPoint, nothing changes? Let me redesign the slides for you to a more PowerPoint friendly style. As you can see here, it kept the design, it made the elements more simple. And when I actually did convert this one into a PowerPoint, there were no mistakes. And what's cool is that Manus AI has something called memory. And so, what it picked up on through this example is that I may want to keep the presentations PowerPoint friendly for the future. Personally, I really don't. I like the fact that it asks what knowledge I want to keep because I just did this prompt for a client that uses PowerPoint. PDFs for me are completely fine, or the link itself. So here, if I wanted in the future for Manus to know that I probably want PowerPoint, I could click accept, but instead I'm going to click reject. And then I'm going to click X. Here's another example. For this one, what I did, I said, create slides for the 5 skills you need to win with AI. Make the color scheme of the slides black, white, and royal blue. All I did when I did the prompt was actually paste an upcoming newsletter and YouTube video that I'm creating. The length of this content was much shorter than what I did with the 21 prompts. However, this is a little bit more complex. I'll create slides on 5 skills you need to win with AI, with the color scheme. It shows the history of what it did. It took it about 10 minutes to reach the point of completion for the first iteration of this slide deck. You could see it. It followed the instructions. What's amazing is that it even included an executive summary and it added a visual for each of the main skills. And what's fascinating is that the visual is actually pretty good in terms of context related to the skill. What's also fascinating is that in this article, the 4th skill that I talk about is to be a lighthouse. It actually took that context and added a layer to it, which is be a lighthouse, not a lifeboat. So it even is making my content better. For skill 5, as you can see, it's almost like a 3D element that's interactive, protect your energy, and it shows a battery. Once I got the first iteration of this presentation, I said, okay, add slides for the subpoints for each skill. For example, explore, practice, build, teach, master. Also make the heading of the titles a little bit bigger. As you can see here, it went from 10 slides to 27 slides. The headlines, like I asked it for, are bigger. It's easier to read. And look, here's the first skill, let go to make space. And then what I asked it for was to include a slide for each of the sub skills. So here's the sub skill, audit your commitments. And then here's the slide for that sub skill. The design of these elements right here, even if they're not like the highest level of depth in terms of the artistic ability, it's the fact that the creativity is truly representing the content on that slide. So here, pick 5 names. It has the 5 bubbles. It didn't mess up. It didn't put 7. What's cool is we see for the second iteration that if you zoom in, the energy is up and it's actually spinning. And it made it look more like a battery. Then one of my clients asked me, well, could you potentially create this into a landing page? And I'm going to leave that to the end because there are 2 more examples that I want to show you before I show you what it created and whether it could turn this slide deck into a landing page. Create a slide deck for me on 10 benefits of growing a personal brand on LinkedIn as an established business owner. It not only specifies the title through quotations, but it also specifies the fact that it's on LinkedIn and who it's for. It took 16 minutes for this to be completed. Let's see what it looks like. Obviously, it probably chose that blue because it's close to LinkedIn. And here we have 10 benefits of growing a personal brand on LinkedIn as an established business owner. I love how it's designing this for more established business owners. Like they would want to see more data, case studies, things like that. And look at all of these colors, all of these visuals. Reduced marketing costs with these diagrams and these metrics. And I need to even talk about this, the reduced marketing costs if you grow your personal brand, and look at how it even has cost comparisons. I love this fifth benefit because it proves that it understood that I'm trying to create for established business owners, because established business owners have a team. The fifth benefit truly is talent attraction. This is really good. What's phenomenal is at the end, it even includes an implementation strategy. And because it has some history on some of the documents that I gave it, it includes my three-phase LinkedIn growth method, where the strategy, one goal, one person, one place, launching and publishing the LinkedIn newsletter weekly, doing the live video events. And here's the final page. It even has questions that established business owners would be more likely to have, like, how much time will this require each week? Do I need technical skills? But it needs to put my information. What I could do is I could say, update the contact information on the last slide to the following. It didn't take long, and it said, I've updated the contact information. Let's check out the slide. And it's true. This example I did more for fun. I said, create a slide deck for me, 10 nature games for mommy and daughter to play. Make sure that each slide is exciting for kids. For example, if one of the games is catch a butterfly, make the background of that slide butterfly themed. I'll create an exciting slide deck on 10 nature games with themed backgrounds for each game. I'll make sure each slide is visually engaging and kid friendly. I've created your slide deck. Let's check it out. Okay, I love it. And look how the little bugs are moving. 10 nature games for mommy and daughter to play. Fun outdoor activities, butterfly catching. Chase and gently catch butterflies with nets, observe their colors and patterns, and release them back to nature. The one thing I don't see here is an actual butterfly, although I see that this is trying to be like a butterfly catcher. Nature scavenger hunt. So this is pretty cool because it did the theme of that slide like a true scavenger hunt. 3, bird watching, and you see the icons moving. That's pretty cool. Oh, I love this. Cloud shape spotting. Lie on a blanket and find shapes in the clouds. First of all, I love these games. I might play them by myself. 7, leaf boat racing. I'm doing that one this weekend. I'm going to beat somebody in leaf boat racing. Make the slides personalized for my daughter. Her name is Liv. Let's see how it does. Look at how it personalized. It added her name for Liv and Mommy's Adventures, and it even has her name beating like a heart. This is wild. I still don't know where the butterfly is. I think it's supposed to fly here. I'm going to have to be a little bit more specific and be like, if there's supposed to be a butterfly on slide 2, I don't see it. Liv's treasure hunt adventure. And look how these move. I could include here her favorite animals, like a unicorn instead of a dragon, even though unicorn isn't technically a real animal, but it is in her world. Maybe I could even give it a picture of us and it add us within cartoons within this experience. Even if I do one of these games with her throughout the summer, like 1 hour a day, she would love that. And it would feel like a personalized experience and it would create memories. As promised, I did ask Manus to turn the 5 AI skills slide presentation into a landing page. All I said was create this into a landing page. This is what it came up with. Look at the header on that. The sizing is awesome. It doesn't cut off the button. I could ask it to make the button move if I would want to when I hover over it. It kept it pretty much in line with the slides. And the design is on point. It even took it upon itself to create a CTA. So it says your survival kit for the AI era. Get your AI survival kit now. This is amazing. Start playing with Manus AI. Let me know the first presentation that you create. I'll see you next time. Ciao.